Did you hear what happened to that guy?
Oh yes, it was a very sad thing. He podfaded. On this episode of Podcastification, I want to talk about podfading. Does it really matter? My name is Kerry Green, and I am the Client Happiness Guy at PodcastFastTrack.com, and this is Podcastification. This show is all about podcasting. How to do it, how not to do it, best practices, interesting news items that have to do with the realm of podcasting, and who knows what else. And I'm trying to do it all with a little bit of fun and some information to help you get a show going, keep yours going, or make it better. And if you like what's going on here on the show, I would appreciate it, oh so appreciate it, if you could leave a rating or review on iTunes. You can find out how to do that at podcastfasttrack.com/review. That's enough of that kind of stuff. Let's get you podcastificated right away. Well, I'm not in my normal studio today because I am actually at my son's house for the Christmas holidays. And that's one of the things I love about podcasting is the flexibility of being able to do it. So as a result, you might hear a little extra echo in this room, but I'm hopeful that I'm able to mitigate that some. But hey, here we are. We're going to talk about podfading. Now, that's a term that's come up in the podcasting community, meaning someone who starts a show and then doesn't carry it on. And most of the time, it means someone who didn't carry on their show for very long. They got all enthusiastic, they got going, and whatever reason, the wind comes out of their sails and they are no longer podcasting. Well, is that really such a big deal? I mean, if you're doing your podcast for a business purpose, it could be. It could be a real negative thing in the eyes of those who are listening, the ones who you are hoping will become your potential clients, because they might take it as a sign that you're not very reliable. You don't stick to your word. You're not able to produce something on a regular basis, which could reflect on whether or not they would have confidence in you as a business.
Hello?
But there are some benefits to podfading, not the podfading itself, but the learning curve that goes into the things that cause podfading. You see, when I first started a podcast, I discovered really quickly that there's a lot more work involved than you think. You've got the actual recording time. If you're doing interviews, you've got the guests to set up and the time crunch there. If you're doing show notes, you've got all the time that goes into that. I mean, there's really a whole lot of things that go into this thing we call podcasting. And if you start really enthusiastically and you don't take into account all those things, podfading could be a very real part of your future.
Hello?
But hey, it's all in how you look at it. If you take it as lessons learned and you grow from it, I don't see a whole lot of issue with that.
Hello?
Now, a related issue has to do with frequency of your publication. I mean, it is a good thing to be fairly regular. You might develop a listener base that gets used to the fact that you publish, say, every Wednesday. And that's a cool thing, and they look forward to it. And when you don't, they begin to wonder what's gone on with you and what's gone on with your show. But I can tell you from my experience with clients that your audience pretty much takes on whatever it is that you do. So if you produce regularly, they take on an attitude of expecting regular episodes. But if you don't continue with regular episodes and say you publish one every third week or sometimes every fourth week, loyal listeners really kind of grow accustomed to that. And when you show back up in their podcast feed list, whether it's through a podcast player or on their actual iTunes on their computer, they listen to your episode because they like what you have to say. You see, most people give a show a try for a while. And if your content is good, if it's valuable, if it's something that is beneficial to them, then they're going to be loyal listeners, even if you do miss an episode here and there. I mean, I know some pretty successful podcasters who don't really take the scheduling all that seriously. They put out content when they have content to put out. And I'm a subscriber to the philosophy that you'd rather put out great content than mediocre content. And you'd rather do it periodically rather than every week just putting out drivel. So think those things through as you think about podcasting, podfading, and the frequency in which you should publish your episodes. I think if we all relax about this a little bit more, it might not be such a big deal after all. Hey, I so appreciate you taking the time to listen to Podcastification. If you could do me a quick favor, the device you are listening to this on right now, whether it's my webpage or your podcast player, has the ability to share this episode with those in your circles. If you'd take just a second to do that, I would so appreciate it. And thanks so much for listening. This show is brought to you by Podcast Fast Track, where my team provides professional podcasting services without the time suck. Full production, editing, and show notes, all in one monthly subscription package. You can find out more at podcastfasttrack.com. Now go out and make it a podcastificating day.
Never say never.